What do we got going on, eh? What's a going on, eh? Feller Buncher is such a weird name. Third position, Shimurki Hollow Projector's flagship. The cards are okay. Shifting Allegiances is pretty good. It's a good Armand set of cards, honestly. Memnon's good with Shifting Allegiances. We could keep trying him. Helena gone. Okay. There's Romber available. I don't think it's a Romber game. Could just Ilbon for the sake of Ilbon. It's not Yuna. It's either Memnon, Ilbon, or Armand. Those all starting to sound kind of similar, don't they? I've uploaded a lot of Armand recently. Let's keep experimenting with Memnon. There's no really super strong leaders here that like kind of ruin our day. Signet Ring in the first hand is nice. No faction is not so nice. Third, it's going to be difficult for us to get that shifting. I probably shouldn't have picked Memnon, because Armand will take it if I don't. Like sorry, Armand will take it if Romber doesn't. Is what I meant to say. It's a pretty good skirmish too, but with no faction, it's not great. We have every type of access, so we can still Signet Ring to smuggling here. We could get a 2-cost tech, but that's not available, so... Tech negotiation is just purely to get it for getting to 5 persuasion, which probably doesn't matter. It might matter. It's just too speculative to say. Carthag goes. What does she ring? Between Helena and Armand, this is not a deck building game. There's going to be too much sniping of good cards. Interesting. That's not a very good card, to be honest. Okay, so with the sister, or the initiate, sorry, that makes the gene manipulation significantly better as a goal. But we do kind of want to participate in this combat too. Like if we can get a Conspire line going, we've already got 1 spice. If we came in second and went to like Haga Basin, we'd have enough for it. But that seems a little inefficient. We're like Imperial Basin is better. We don't have to spend water. Nobody's going Hardy. I think this is my 3rd game in a row with no faction access in my first hand. No ring from Armand. Do we want to early reveal for the shifting? I think I'd rather just put 3 troops in on this. We probably end up Oh no, we didn't. We drew. Oh no, we drew all three of our yellows. Ah. Okay, well. Is that the worst card we could have drawn? I think it is. It's a 1 in 5 chance of that. It's probably okay. For some reason I'm getting cranky today. I had one game where my opening hand was dagger, dagger, convincing, convincing, going forth, plus reconnaissance. Arakeen got taken. I went tech negotiation. Somebody else went Carthag. I basically accomplished absolutely nothing in the first round of the game. It sucked so bad. Like, it wasn't even interesting. It was just like I could upload that video to my channel, but the video is just like, you accomplished nothing in the first round of the game and started really behind. And then the Baron, like, you know, has interstellar shipping while you have nothing. So I mean, it was not going to be an interesting game. So I did not upload it. So Romber's gonna get the shifting, I think. Yeah, I could have really revealed for that, but I think winning the combat is more important, given that I had the opportunity to do that. Potentially, depending on what Romber has in hand. If he has an entry card that goes to combat, then we're going to regret our decision, I think. Okay, he takes the Bounty Hunter. No good cards, really. Gunthopter is okay. It's negative persuasion, though. I'll take it. Whatever. Okay, there's directorship. Helena won't have a ring, but I won't have the persuasion because I picked up a smuggler's thopter. Like I said, probably not a deck building game. Gunthopter could be good just to try to focus on combats instead. We might get Interstellar next round if we win this. Depends on what Armand does. I think he's likely to go Fold Space again. Yeah, I think he's just going to go Fold Space. We do have enough spice for selective breeding, but I don't think that's very good. That's not enough to get a directorship. But not being able to smuggle most likely is going to be really bad. We did add a yellow to our deck, so there's 4 yellow cards in this draw pile. So the odds are actually greater than 50% that we do have yellow. But of course we're not going to have it, but I don't want to get my hopes up. But like, it's more likely than not that we actually do end up drawing back into yellow. Right? Yeah, we did. Let's see here. Siege of Carthag. We have 2 spice, which means we could get a holo projectors. But there's nothing to holo project, is the thing. Oh, that's not what I meant to hit. Yeah, so we don't get the Fold Space. I think we just do a slow smuggle. We get yellow again next round. And then we just get our Swordmaster next round. So we go to a faction here. We don't need wealth. I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but we don't need it. So I think Still Suits would be our priority because Research Station is good with a directorship out. We would actually nuke the persuasion of our deck, though, if we had a directorship and a Gunthopter. So maybe that's not such a great thing. And then Helena also has her ring, too, next round. So, well, not guaranteed, but she very well could. We've got 2 spice. What do we think about selective? The problem with selective is there's not really a good card to get in a medium range. If there was like a 5 coster, you know, I think it would be good. There's not. Like, it's either show 'em directorship or bust, basically. So to me, that says... Is he playing his ring? I think he is. If he takes a card and he reveals, like, a Piter or something, then yeah, we probably selective breeding. But he's taking a liaison, so we still don't really have any new information. He will reveal and there will be something new, but we just don't have any... We don't have any idea of what that might be. Now, I just don't think we play the Seek Allies here. Next hand we have yellow and we have green, so we don't need... to thin our deck. I guess playing the Seek Allies, the advantage of playing Seek Allies is that the deck is thinner for the Chom Directorship. And if we're going Still Suits, then that's probably the play. Interesting play from Helena. It also has the advantage of giving me a slightly better card this round. Initiate's not crazy, but it's good enough. Space Travel is good enough. They're both better than a Liaison. Who has the gene manipulation? Armand. So we might want to get Initiate to deny that to him, even though I'd probably prefer Space Travel in a vacuum. Of course, if he really wants Initiate, he'll just buy her when he reveals. He reveals ahead of me. Chimerky to 4 intrigue cards. That's kind of a cool way to play Romber, honestly. Snoopers, too. Does he have one he can burn, or is he going to get stolen from? Windfall. Windfall's a good one. Only 1 persuasion. So I guess we're going to buy the Initiate to play blocker on Armand. Okay, now we actually have a good target. Where if we go for like directorship next round and we fall flat, Gurney is still there for us potentially. The problem is we don't know what Helena's ring status is. If she reveals the ring because she went to selective here, we'll feel pretty good about it, but I think she does not. So she has ring next round, which means trying to go for either of these cards is fraught until we see what she's got. We did increase our deck's persuasion by getting rid of the Seek Allies and replacing it with a Initiate. The problem is we have a Gunthopter, so it's going to be difficult to do. Web of Power. A lot of good stuff. In fact, there's enough good stuff that we could arguably say that we're going to get something good with high persuasion even without Helena's meddling. Chimerky's being pretty good for him, isn't it? Cool. So, if we play the Gunthopter, I don't think we want to play the Gunthopter. Armand's going to block us on Interstellar almost every round, but it's still good to have the option. I guess we could play the Gunthopter for persuasion's sake. We'll have more chances to do that, though. Like, we can do it to Research Station. Maybe it would have been better, though, to do it to smuggling while they still have garrisons. That's actually a pretty cool play from Romper. Early Dreadnought, I really like it. And the shifting allegiances means that he can get the next Interstellar. Yeah, that's... Romper's playing a pretty good game, actually. You love to see it. Helena didn't play her ring. But that's going to be her next action is ring. Takes hollow. Artillery. I might want to increase the speed of these animations a little bit. Let's try 2 times. Artillery is not that impressive. It's good with Gunthopter, though. On deck, we have a dagger, so... It's... Yeah, Persuasion's kind of tough right now. In fact, I don't even think we can get Directorship. Convince it, like, we can only get a maximum of 3 Persuasion out of this draw. And that's only if we draw the Convincing. So maybe we don't want a Research Station. And we could just go for the combat. The Gunthopter pretty much guarantees it. Let's just see what Helena rings before we make any decisions. Okay, Web. There's a good card no matter what. It's 6 Persuasion. The problem is I don't know that we can get to 6 Persuasion. Like, drawing 2 cards out of here, and we have to draw one of them. Right? That's the issue. If we go to Arakeen, we actually, like, lose Persuasion, most likely. I think we just need to save the Research Station for next round. I wouldn't mind Artillery at this point. Okay, never mind. Film is pretty good, though. So it's either Arakeen or it's Research Station. I guess technically we could Gunthopter to Spice, but that's not what we want to do. So, I mean, gosh, we have to draw... If we draw the Convincing, as long as the other card we draw isn't Dagger, it's fine. It's a 5-card deck. We're drawing 2 cards, so there's probably like a 40-ish% chance we get what we want. Not great. We're also revealing last. And we have to play the Gunthopter, which only hurts Armand. So I think we just have to do this. So we add 4 daggers, which is actually 6. Do 2 troops. And adjust from there. Helena gets the Web of Power. It's good to be Helena. The film should be a high priority with all these good cards. It's crazy that directorship has stuck around as long as it has. Helena has 3 intrigue cards. We probably ought to deploy a troop. Armand falls 1 persuasion short of the directorship. But I think... yeah, I think the 6s might actually just be better cards. For him, at least. When you can trash down to him, they're better, I think. So we're at 8. We can go to 10. We get a troop back for winning, so I think we should. Let's pick up a liaison with this row is going to be necessary. Maybe I should have chased a different faction rather than going up with Guild. But I think going up with Guild still made sense. Like, we're going to get it eventually. And who knows what intrigue cards we draw, stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe we could have just, like, gone after a different alliance. He's thinking about something. How many intrigue cards do I want to play to get this kind of thing? Armand having artillery is interesting. He has not trashed any daggers yet. Neither has he picked up any cards that provide daggers, I don't think. Bounty Hunter. Okay, so he's got 1. What are we waiting on? Helena. She goes to 4, but she's got her turn up, so it's not going to matter. I hate getting an early Swordmaster and having this come up. She actually interstellars, which is pretty cool. Romber is weirdly ahead, so it's nice to see that. Even though she's got a Web of Power, we don't want her to be doing that stuff. How much do we prioritize the film here? I mean, High Council seat's better. We kind of want to conspire for the High Council seat. We also want a research station. Helena's ring is in discard, so I do think getting up there is more important. So let's take BG's sister to tech negotiation, pick up film, draw a card. If we don't get the directorship, we probably get Gurney. Although, unless Armand goes wealth here, he's not getting a Swordmaster this round, and us revealing last is bad for our odds of getting good cards, unfortunately. Let's see what he does.
Are you recording?
Yep. He goes smuggling. And that means he's not getting a Swordmaster. Did he use his ring to do it? No, he did fold space to do that. So, we have a lot of options. I could research station first, but I don't think it's going to open up... like, these cards are crap. I don't think it's going to open that much more in terms of our options. So let's initiate here. Draw the card. We have convincing. That's kind of awesome. The film... wait, did somebody buy the film already? Oh, Romber, you bastard. Okay. Well... I guess I'm gonna buy a Snoopers. I didn't want to do that, but I guess here we are. I'm at 8, so I could early reveal for the directorship. I have a sword master, so I mean, I'm not really like... It's not like I'm falling behind by doing that. If I don't early reveal for it, like, Romber will beat me there. We don't know what he has. He has 4 cards in hand. His acquisitions have been, what? Space travel, that's 2 persuasion. Not good. Allegiances, that's 2 persuasion. Not good. He goes to Arakeen to draw more cards. So he probably has the 8. And he's currently in the lead. But it wouldn't give him any points immediately. For whatever that's worth. We could Bendu, but that doesn't seem very good at all. We could Selective Breeding, but that doesn't seem good either. Yikes. Well, I mean, Gurney is still there. We could just say, screw Directorship. Gurney Halleck's a good card. The techs are not that good. But if we Signet Ring to Great Flat, we could, like, potentially try to work towards a flagship. It doesn't seem great. We want a High Council. We're Memnon. This is too wide open. The combat doesn't matter. Either Romber has it or he doesn't. Very insightful. Gunthopter lets us enter the combat. If Helena doesn't. If she is going to. Okay. So now we just see, like, do they have the persuasion or not? No. So we get Directorship, I think, unless Armand is pulling something. So we have another action that we can play, but it can't really, like, it kind of has to, can't cost us persuasion. Well, we can't play our dagger. We could play Gunthopter, get 2 spice, smack Armand's garrison for no purpose, probably. But it's better than playing it. We want to play Diplomacy. We could Bendu Suspension and most likely still end up with 8. And then play a Diplomacy. Or we could selectively breed. Trash Dagger. Use Gunthopter, get 2 more Solari. Do this. Sure. Why not? Let's pass our turn. Three daggers from Helena. That's useful. It tells us that we probably... Well, we have 5 daggers in hand, though. Jessica is better. And it doesn't require us to be on 8. So we can Diplomacy. Do this, grab Guild Alliance. I think I like that. Seems like a weird way to use a card. Whatever. 1 troop for 2 Solari is still enough to get me a High Council seat with a directorship in play. We have Snoopers, but we used our card. Worth remembering. We don't want to forget about that in the late game. It also increases the marginal value of each intrigue card. So, secrets and Carthag are higher priority. No Jessica. That's okay. Gunthopter again. It's kind of nice. Armand loses his Swordmaster. Bad for him. Very bad for him. What's Romberg got again? It's a murky mimic film. Yeah, that's not great for us, is it? We just go ahead and grab that High Council seat. I don't have any way to draw cards. No, we need to play Interstellar. I'm being silly. We can zap their garrisons, but Romber's in the lead. Buy a tech. Don't hate flagship here. Troop transports is better though. Troop transports play Gunthopter. What about shit, too late. I was gonna say spaceport for directorship could actually have been good there. And that's why we went for double guild, because even if you're not first, you sometimes still get it. New tech is Holtzman. That's pretty good. I definitely would consider that. It's only round 5, so we'll probably be able to get it to go off. And we have a Jessica. Yeah, I would definitely consider that. This could end up being a pretty good Memnon game. She doesn't ring directorship. But I don't think we have the ability to get directorship anyway. I guess we could buy spaceport still. It's kind of risky. Like, we're not guaranteed to get what we want. Holtzman seems entirely more reliable. Okay, just kidding. We don't have the option. Mimic orders, though. Memnonic orders. I think we take those. We need to draw 3 persuasion and 2 cards. If we don't, we can still go +1 with High Council, most likely. It's too late. We already bought the Mimic Orders. The BG and Emperor are the 2 factions that we don't have anything with. Oh. Okay, well, I for some reason I thought I was buying a shuttle fleet. Looks like Helena gets the shuttle fleet. Very high-tech game. Oh, I think this stack is done. It says 3 techs remaining, though. What? How can there be 3 techs remaining in the stack if there's no stack? Maybe there's 3 in this one and 6 in this one? I don't know what's going on here. Does he go for High Council? He shouldn't. He has 8. Let's take it with Emperor. Triple threes. Or triple twos, sorry. 222. This is bugging me. Like, what's going on up here? I don't think this is a bug. Because we have got a lot of tech this game. Holzman for Romber's a little scary, but he doesn't have a single SMF yet. But he has plenty of time to get him. And he's got Shimerki. Crazy that this has sat here for as long as it has. I'll definitely pick up the allegiances if it gets to me. So it won't. Oh, okay. Maybe it will. Probably not, but maybe. So we need 1 on Emperor, 3 on BG, and 1 on Fremen. And Connections is spent. It's going to be difficult. Especially with the shuttle fleet gone. Worm Riders. I'll take a Worm Riders. We've already got 2 with Fremen. Treachery would have been much better, though. Ambush is pretty nice. No Jessica. I mean, this thing is still live. If we can get this with Mimic Quarters, I think we just win the game. So I think probably first action is like selective breeding. Full space selective breeding would be perfect. Trash a dagger. Spaceport from Armand. I wonder if he's probably trying to get that. Data Devices is live. We could probably use them. Let's see what he does. I think selective breeding is still a good play here. There's the directorship if we can get it. If Armand doesn't reveal, I mean. Literally that pretty much locks in the Mimic Quarters point if we early reveal for it. I hate to reveal with 3 agents left, but it might just be the play.
The Memnon's point?
Yeah, see, I've got these. Although, Treachery is about as good. I probably skip Mimic Quarters if I get Treachery anyway. So maybe the directorship's not that necessary. The problem is I'm revealing last. Liaison in deck, a bunch of daggers in discard. But it's round 6. That's a good time to have a bunch of daggers in discard. It also goes smuggling on the theory that I have troop transports for next round. And I'm going to get Interstellar next round. Makes smuggling pretty good, actually. Nobody else wants it, though, so I don't have to do it anytime soon. We have an ambush. Detonation devices means that next round could be a 3-point combat for me if I went to the Dreadnought space. There's a lot of ways to win this game.
Are you going to play Jessica or the Initiate to smuggling? Like, do you want to trigger a reshuffle or not?
I would prefer not to trigger a reshuffle, to be honest. And the 3 Persuasion from Jessica is probably more useful here for these cards. Although she probably ends up... Like, there's a Liaison on deck, so we're not really losing Persuasion. I mean, I could just buy a Spice Must Flow instead. Like, it's a point. I don't know. I definitely don't think we reveal early, because, like, yeah, maybe Armand gets the directorship, but, you know, if we get a Spice Must Flow instead, or we get a Treachery instead, it's, like, probably the same. And we get so much more value out of playing 3 agents. Romber's got a Holtzman and a Chimerky and a Mnemonic Film, so that's a little scary. But I think we're just beating him nuts and bolts right now, so I'm not too worried about it.
You should probably just play around the next combat.
Yeah, I agree. But like with us having all these daggers in our discard pile, we may not need Highliner. He doesn't reveal early, which is cool. We don't want to smuggle first action. The question is, do we want to pick up a Detonation Devices? We can also just play Diplomacy of Secrets. We have Snoopers, so the intrigue cards are a little bit more valuable.
My 2 cents. I don't love Data Devices because I think if you win the combat, you're going to win the game anyways.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if we win next combat, we're just going to win the game. Fair enough. You have a good point. Mentat is taken because we won the last combat. There's nothing great to do. We could just Jessica Secrets, I think, is probably the best option.
It is like +3 strength, but yeah.
Reinforcements is pretty good. Okay, so now we need 1 on BG, 1 on Fremen, and 1 on Emperor. So, I mean, if we got Chom directorship, that would be the Mimic Quarters point, like, straight up. And it would protect our Guild Alliance. So maybe we do want an early reveal if Armand plays another action. I don't think that Romber is going to buy the directorship because he has a Holtzman engine. We didn't draw either of our big dagger cards, so that's pretty good, actually. He plays to Arakeen. I mean, gosh, it's like a whole point, maybe like 3 points if we get this. Armand's got 5 cards in hand. He's got no High Council seat, no Mnemonic Film. His Hollow Projectors are spent. He's trashed 2 Convincings out of his deck. Surely he just doesn't have the Persuasion. He has an Allegiances in deck. Well, his deck contains an Allegiances. It contains an Engineer, which is a point, but no Persuasion. A Liaison, which is good Persuasion. Guild Accord, which has no Persuasion. I'm going to call his bluff. I don't think he has it. He does have a G Manipulation, but, like, I don't think he has it. So...
Worst case, you have to get a Spice Must Flow instead of a Chum directorship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I still think smuggling. Well, not with the draw, because you're going to draw your deck. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's a little sad.
You want to go with,
I mean,
with
getting
the
3 Spice could give us Highliner next round, so we'd probably participate in this. Which means that we take, like, Diplomacy to Still Suits, I think. And just put some troops in and just... Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not like we can choose not to do this. I mean, we can not deploy anything, but... Yeah. The Reinforcements is actually really good. I don't even think we want to Snoopers it.
Alternative to still suits. Well, I guess if you win this combat, you put a troop in, but you could like go Grey Flat, get 3 spice out of Worm Riders, but
Yeah, that's true.
not Grey Flat.
Yeah, you're right. I could just get the 3 spice that way. And it's not like these guys, if they win the combat, are gonna get to Highliner spice anyway. The intrigue card is kind of enticing me. 11's a lot to hit though. We've got 5 daggers in hand. It's actually not that easy to win this, even with the Worm Riders.
That's what I'd suspect. And you could play Worm Riders to Carthag if you want intrigue, but then you're 5 spice. But the Diplo is in hand. You draw 3 cards that aren't Diplo, so Highliner Access seems a bit like a pipe dream.
Yeah. True. The ring
Although you do
gives
get
us
more
our sixth spice, but we have an ambush, reinforcements, and a Gunthopter. So I think that given that nobody else really has enough for Highliner, we try to find a non-Highliner combat path.
Oh, yeah, I think Carthag is the play because you up your garrison to 2 troops. You get the intrigue. You get 2 spice. You can get extra spice from the shipping track, if not from the ring.
So here's another interesting thing to think about. Romber has 5 cards in hand. Does he get the directorship? I don't think he does. I think he prefers a Spiceman's Flow. Yeah, not even close for Armand. He does get the Engineer point, though. I mean, yeah, the 2 spice for playing Worm Riders is pretty good. And given that we have Snoopers, I think I kind of agree with you. The thing is, with a Mimic Orders, not playing the Diplomacy feels pretty bad. But if I don't get the funny thing is, like, I could play the Worm Riders, have enough Persuasion for Treachery and Power Play. Like, potentially pick up 2 alliances. Charisma. That's interesting. Doesn't really do anything, to be honest. You know, it's funny, actually placing in this combat, like just like putting 1 troop in placing, does allow us the ability to Highliner first action if we redraw the guild. Which we could do pretty easily if we buy Treachery Power Play.
But your first action is probably just going to be the Interstellar track anyways, right? For the bump and the...
Maybe.
Because the bump is going to be an alliance point
Yeah, we save our troops for next combat. Let's not get distracted. So 9. Does he get directorship? No. Just goes for the plain old spice. So we reveal. I think we still get directorship here. Treachery is really good, but this is like half that effect, and we don't have to draw it to get it. So I think we just pick up directorship. We could Charisma Power Play. Although we may need that Charisma for a Spiceman's Flow next round. And Charisma Power Play is pretty good. It's more guild access too, even though it's an inefficient way to get guild access. And what else are we going to do with this card? We're at 3 cards in hand too. So there's
you're gonna Sonic.
Oh, we have a Sonic. Yeah, we don't do it. We have a Sonic Snoopers. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, good point. So we're at 7 right now, and we have 3 different points we can pick up on alliances. We just don't have a lot of factions, so it's tough. But we can get one of them no problem from the shipping track. Like guaranteed, we have yellow. And that's
Probably Emperor, right? 2 troops.
2 troops.
Nobody wants to go to Emperor.
Yeah, nobody wants to go there. Yeah. Although Helena does have a web of power we have to consider in our discard pile, but that can go up with anybody. So Helena losing her dreadnought's also good for us, but Romber is going to have 2 beefed up dreadnoughts that we have to worry about. 2 beefed up dreadnoughts and 3 troops in garrison. Demand respect. Ooh, okay.
Well,
This is not the combat I wanted to win. If I do win it, I get to steal that Emperor Alliance back, potentially. We actually have no faction at all. Which is kind of annoying. Do I play the Gunthopter to sap their garrisons, trying to make the game go another round? Which is more useful than like using it for its reveal. If I want to get a Spice Must Flow, that's what I do, because it's a 0 persuasion card. Playing the Signet Ring has the advantage of getting me my 6th Spice. There's a flagship still. It's a little bit unorthodox, but I don't think anyone can end the game this round. The problem is that Romber already has a Spice Must Flow. So the game going much longer is not great for us. We could initiate just to expand our options. I think that's the best the one. Because, like, ugh, okay, well. Let's do this. We could go up again and try to get a flagship. We have the 4 Solari, but we'd rather use it on reinforcements, so no. We go down. And we deploy 3 because we have the thingy-mabobber. We go up with... Oh, I'm going to time out if I'm not careful. We go up with Fremen for the water. The intrigue card sounds good, but if I try to use my Snoopers, I'm going to run out of time. Like, the better play is to go with BG and then use Snoopers. But if I do that, I get timed out and get screwed. And who knows, like, they might throw away cards I want. The good news about the directorship is it means that I'm pretty sure my guild alliance is safe even if I lose this combat. Somebody would have to, like, go Highliner, have a card, and win the combat. Which seems a little bit unlikely. We didn't draw faction, though, which is kind of unfortunate, which means we can't necessarily take that BG alliance. These techs don't do it either. But, I mean, a point's a point. Like, if I took Signet Ring to tech negotiation, I could just buy flagship. Like, why not, right? Even if I don't have the Solari for it. A point's a point. And I still have 7 persuasion, which means I can charisma to get a Spice Must Flow too. I think I like that play, actually. Great flat. What are you gonna do with that, Armand? Okay. Not actually threatening the alliance. Just getting a bump. Is it a mistake to get the flagship? If the game goes another round, not having Highliner access could be a big problem. But we also have Worm Riders, which will give us more spice, and our Signet Ring. And 2 combat cards. And the flagship could, hypothetically, if we get more Solari, help us win the combat.
I mean, if you win this combat, and you get the flagship and the Spice Must Slow, it's GG.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But, alternative, yeah, I mean...
And we can use the flagship on the combat. It's less efficient than the reinforcements, though, but we could just use the Snoopers for reinforcements. Try to get something better. Like, we could use flagship. Well, we're at 7 persuasion, so we have to, like, play Gunthopter to a city or something. Directorship actually feeds the flagship if the game goes longer, which is kind of fun. Although we're not going to reveal it. We're never going to get a reveal bonus that matters for that.
I mean, flagship letting you Snoopers the reinforcements is nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it accomplishes here. Elena Hardy means that if she wins the combat, she steals Fremen. don't think she wins the combat, though. This is round 7. She has no Swordmaster. And I don't remember her picking up any particularly scary cards besides Whip of Power. That is concerning, though. I didn't know that he had 6 spice. But even if he wins the combat, which it looks like he's going to, he still can't steal my Guild Alliance. Although he could if he moves before me next round and decides to go to, like, full space or something. That'd be a bit of a weird play, but he could do it. 16, he's not invincible, though. We have 4 in hand. This is 7, 9. I mean, we still might win this, actually. Depends on what his cards are. But his techs don't help him with combat at all. The problem is, if I play Liaison to Arakeen to actually use the flagship, you know, so let's see here. There's only 3 cards in this deck that will still get me a Spice Must Flow. So, do we just early reveal here? If we early reveal, this is 5, this is 9, that takes me to 15. Reinforcements add 6 to that, takes me to 21. Romber still has an agent action, and he could go to, like, Arakeen and just throw more junk in, is the problem. Gunthopter, I guess, does cost him a little bit of that garrison, but he probably wasn't going to be able to deploy it anyway. Getting Gunthopter is the play here. Gunthopter to, what? Siege Tabor? Gunthopter to Arakeen, if I draw a 2 Persuasion card, I can junk the Charisma, so I think I'll do that. I did not. I still need the Charisma. But we'll see what Romber does, because if it looks close, I probably would rather win the combat than buy the Spice Must Flow. And who knows, maybe I draw plans within plans if I trash it. That would be kind of nasty. Elena reveals...
Stupid card that should be removed from the game.
Yoshi withdraws 2 bumps. Oh, she's going to take Fremen. That's annoying. If I win the combat, I can steal it back, but that's a point I would have gotten somewhere else. So knowing that she got that 2 rounds in a row. Oh, God. Well, maybe I can't win the combat now. We'll see what he puts in, but I think it feels like they're all kind of conspiring to stop me here. Second gives me another intrigue. For whatever that's worth. Okay, so we definitely play the Charisma. Well, maybe not. Let's think here. So, we're at 22. Odds are we're not winning the combat, even with Snoopers, right? Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, that's so disgusting. I hate that card so much.
Okay. Free game, I guess.
I'm sorry, that was color commentary.
I mean, Mimic Orders plus plans within plans is pretty stupid. Romber can't steal any of my alliances, though, with this. I don't really... If he goes up 2 with guilds, he could, like, go full space, like I said earlier. Oh my god, that's what he's doing. These guys really just want to hate on me. I mean, if they knew I had a plans with implants, that makes sense. But otherwise, they're just being weird. Like, what are you doing, dude? Did he buy a Spice Must Flow? No, he didn't. He bought the Treachery. Private Army is okay. If he steals my alliance, I guess I just go to BG with Jessica, if it's available. Worm Riders is nice here. We have a decent shot of winning this combat. Diplomacy on deck. He bought a space travel, so I think he does have it. Because all he needs to do is draw space travel, diplomacy, or treachery, and he steals it. Sending treachery there would be really wasteful on his part, but he could do it if that was his only option. I'm at 11 points. The problem is I have to actually make the game end. Interstellar, so he doesn't steal it. But I also can't protect it. Oh, he does steal. He's got Expedite, okay. That directorship's annoying. Because we're not going to get the Solari in time to use the flagship. But the good news is, it looks like we're going to be able to get the alliance from Jessica. No! Oh my god. Stop blocking me everywhere, guys. Jesus. I'm at 7, just like you guys. Come on. We could go to secrets. But yeah, I don't know. Because we have 0 troops, we need to be in the combat. So how do we get more troops? No Solari. We buy an invasion ships. But that takes away from our private army. But we have a card we can discard to directorship. To go anywhere. We have Worm Riders in hand. No guild access. Persuasion comes from the tech negotiation. Yeah, it's not bad. Good cards that we can draw. We can pick the spice back up, potentially, at Haga Basin. Like, if we Worm Riders to Arakeen, that does give us a Spice Must Flow again. Freaking alliances, man. I hate alliances. So it's going to be like... what? Jessica to Arakeen, draw 4. Put in 3 troops. We could also Interstellar. Interstellar would give us enough Solari to use the flagship. Draw us 2 cards. The problem is the 2 cards that we draw won't take us to combat spaces. I guess that's not true. They would take us to Hardy Warriors. There's a possibility that Hardy Warriors is blocked, though. Right now, we don't have a private army available. We do have the ambush, though. I think the Arakeen play is better. It gives us more flexibility. It doesn't dictate what our last action has to be. And we draw another card. So we can spend an action going to like Haga Basin, for example, and then that'll give us a private army. Is going to Haga Basin better than going to Arakeen? I don't think so. So less troops in the combat, and we can always just infiltrate Interstellar if we have to. Or, sorry, we can always just infiltrate Haga Basin if we have to. So, let's Jessica here. Although that does cost me a lot of persuasion. But we get the 3 right back. So, no, we're fine. Gunthopter. Well, awkward for Spice Must Flows, but good for trying to win a combat. What if we had infiltrated Interstellar and then gone smuggling afterwards, used troop transports to throw 3 in, taken Spice for private army? Hard to say. Helena's at 19, but she doesn't have good combat cards as far as I can tell in hand. Fremen Camp is one of them. Recruiter could be another. So no, she might have some gas, actually. Where did he go down? Okay, he lost 1 with Fremen. Okay. Armand reveals early. I don't see that he has a path here. Corner of the market, maybe. No, he doesn't even have 2. So, what do we do with our last action? We want to gain 1 persuasion, if we can. We're already going to be adding troops to the combat. We want Spice for the private army. Looks like the persuasion gain is not going to be on the table. We don't have enough water to go to research station. Gaining Spice we can do off of Haga Basin. But if we do it, we have to play the Thopter. But we just put 2 troops in. So we lose 3 daggers, but we gain more than 3 daggers. So I think it still works. If we diplomacy to Hardy Warriors, we put 4 troops in. But that doesn't seem better. And having more Spice for the tiebreaker could be good. It's going to be close. We didn't end up even using the invasion ships besides for the troops. Still, if we win the combat, we'll be happy we had the troops, I guess. Romber only has 1 SMF. He's probably going to get another one now, but we don't know. If he doesn't get it, we're probably golden. Maybe I shouldn't have bought the directorship. 4 daggers. Does that make this impossible for me? This is 9 daggers. And this is 4. We only can tie them. But I guess we're gonna tie them. Let's do the math, though. If Helena gets to 10, don't we just win? Like, we're at 10 points, and we also have tiebreaker on her. On Spice from second. If we add 9, we deny her 2 points, and the game goes another round, and then maybe we lose, right? Like, who knows what happens? We might lose. So yeah, we just don't even fight. We just, like, let her win. If she has a point in her hand, then she beats us. But I don't think she does. She doesn't have machine culture. She doesn't have war chest. Plans within plans is not a fair card. But getting Jessica and Chome directorship in a game is probably pretty good too. Like if you get to the point where you've got both of those cards, then plus Amendment Quarters, you know, probably in good shape. Well, there you go. I was able to win by losing. I'm sure they're not too happy about that. Well, Helena doesn't seem to mind.